Okay, I'm going to quickly go through the Everyday and Party 2005 PowerPoint that we showed to customers. This might clear up some timeline questions that some of you guys have, and you just see what we're working on at this point in time. You see where things fell into place. Okay, so we've got, these are what we'll talk about. Toys, I'm going to go through pretty quickly. Frogs, we just introduced frogs, I believe, this year. Here's the three hip-hop frogs, the Indie Club being the best frog. All three of these were really good. And then you got the 80s versions here. You've got the 90s versions, the country versions. Again, the hip-hop were the best, but we did sell a lot of these other versions. We got some party versions, over the hill versions, which are also part of the party line. Monster mail. So we did this kind of initially as you pack it in a box that comes, the package can turn into a box that you can actually mail. So we called it monster mail. Kind of gave up on that idea after a while, but the Mana versions of these guys did extremely well. I mean, especially the blue one, that was the key one. But we sold a lot of the Mana. It was a very funny item, so it worked. IGPAYS, this item didn't work. So basically they gave you the words in English and then in Pig Latin. So, it was just kind of a funny item. Didn't really take off. I'm not even sure if we sold it. We probably did, but it didn't do well. Dangling Dan, these are the swinging monkeys and the hopping frogs. And the swinging monkeys were a very big item for us. So this is like the next generation. We did girls. And, Hey Mickey, Music Box Dancer, Little Bitty Pretty One, March, I think is dun 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 dun, the Tchaikovsky one. So it's just kind of, we sold them. I don't think they did great, but we sold them. Some animated plush items, LaGrange, how much? The sheepdog, we did a sheepdog in Valentine's that sang Only You and put his heads up and Only You. I mean, it was a great item. I mean, we sold that for quite a few years in Valentine's, and we did some sheepdogs in every day. That did well, but not as good as that Valentine's one. So Lion Sleeps Tonight, another LaGrange item. Frantic, we did a lot of items for KB Toys, and this is one of the ones that in their display table that they put batteries in. So this was one of those items. Brittany on her bike didn't work. This pirate race, we actually sold a bunch of these it goes up and then it just goes down the slide. Sold a lot of those type of items to KB. Brittany on her bike, I don't think we ever sold that. I don't think it took off. So here we talked about those music box dancers. These are the swinging monkeys that did extremely well. This was a huge program for us. The monkeys in KB, especially Toys R Us, did them. Quite a few people did them. Yeah. The big question on those is how do you make them try me? And you see how we made them try me. We initially we put the try me sleeve over this, and then eventually I think we put it over the arms and not across the body. And then the frogs, just instead of swinging side to side like these guys, the frogs jumped up and down. Novelty. Anger management, these were the chokers. We had several waves. The first wave we sold in, did okay, never really proceeded with the next waves, but basically when you grab it, then all of a sudden the voice changes. It's a normal voice, and then when you grab it by the neck, the voice changes and he's kind of talking as he's choking. Probably not politically correct these days, but it was okay back in 2005. Booty shakers. These were the first booty shakers that we did. These were in every day. Then they ran with it later the same year in Christmas, and that it did really well. These were on a base, so basically, when you hit the button, it would dance, and then it would, in the middle of the song or near the beginning of the song, it would actually turn around and start shaking his butt at you. Eventually, they got rid of the base and just did them, without the base, and it just had the same booty shaking mechanism. Novelty gifts. Here's like 4 things. Right Hand Man is like a big brown nosed guy. We sold some. There's Moral Dilemma. You figure out, you say something, you hit the button, it tells you whether you should or you shouldn't. The Hula Girl did well. We actually did better. We had him in a pineapple where she came out of a pineapple. And the Confucius thing, I don't even freaking remember that item, but that's one item. Beer jar. I love this item. We sold it. I don't think it. Yeah, we didn't really get many reorders on it, but we did sell it in. Have you ever heard of the song Todd Snyder song Beer Run? BEERUN, Beer Run. Very funny song. So we put it in a keg, which is like a bank, and yeah, we sold it in. These are inside the box. We had a whole line of these. Never really took off. But basically, you can see the outer. This looks like a takeout container, and that opens up. You got a ninja singing, dancing the kung fu fighting. This is like a some sort of tiki thing opened up. And you got a tiki guy dancing. We had a whole series of these. Thought it was going to be good. Didn't really take off. Parrots, this is Pete the Repeat Parrot was before my time. It was a very good item. We sold it all through my time at Gemmy. And then we did another version where he was on a tree limb, and then he would just spin around and around and around on it as he was singing. Humphrey the Humping Dog. We sold a lot of Humphrey. And then we also did other versions like this Humping Monkey and like a smaller version of Humphrey. But this is basically Spencer Gifts bought this, and they ran with it for years. It was just a very, very good item. Pin art, there's a guy that was around before I even joined Gemmy, and we kept selling it. I mean, it would sell. Originally they were all metal pins, and then we made them plastic pins. It had a good run, and we would sell some every now and then here and there. Decor, Buck. This is when Buck came out. Buck was huge, life-size deer. You guys should know about him. This planner, I've given you a video of this before on YouTube, but it's very cool animation, very detailed, very complex, and didn't really take off, but it was a very cool item. You can look at the video on YouTube. These are also different. The leaves would separate, and you got a gnome or a frog, and it would dance like crazy. I think I posted this on YouTube too. I'm not sure, but these were very fun items. So there were just different ways to do flowers. We had the wildflowers. We tried to do plush flowers that dance, kind of like the old Decor mechanism, where it's just moving side to side, bopping up and down. And then we sold them in. It wasn't one of our better items, but it did sell. We had these signs that light up, like kind of marquee lights, and so the lights would light up, one then the other, so it looked like it was in a motion type of thing. So we sold these. License, Simpsons. Okay, the Homer cookie jar, we sold it in. We did all kinds of Homers and Christmas and every day and Halloween. So we have the booty shaker Homer, so again, he turns around and shakes his butt at you, singing in a Homer song. And then we've got, Homer singing Shake Your Booty. And then we've got him holding a pizza with That's Amore and holding a beer with Only You, I guess. I think it's a beer. These guys on the right aren't booty shakers. This is the beginning of the dashboard drivers. In preceding years, you'll see a lot bigger section of dashboard drivers. Thought we'd try them. These were the first ones. Started with Homer and Family Guy, and it really took off. So we did these in Disney and Looney Tunes and any license that we had. We pretty much did the dashboard drivers. It was a very good item. It was a way to get an animated or a talking figure that wasn't a toy, because he was on a base. He was called him dashboard drivers, meant to be in a car, but we didn't really think they put him in a car. It's got a little marble thing, so when you stop short, they would activate it. But most people probably kept it, in their home and just pushed the button. Caddyshack. Did very well with Caddyshack. One of my first hit items was this Caddyshack gopher. I mean, the owner wanted to do it, and we ended up doing it. And what happened was we had a faulty prototype, and the head would stop and start and stop and start, and it was so good. And then they fixed it, and then I had them go back and give me the faulty version again, because it was more realistic of what the animal is. So this is by far the best Caddyshack gopher item. We had others. We had gopher in a golf bag. We have, this guy. We had the inside the box version, but this was the man. This was the gopher. Triumph had sold Triumph mostly with Spencer. I think maybe KB bought it. I'm not 100% sure on that. Had a lot of fun, on the phone with Robert Smigel, the creator, coming up with the sayings that we'd use for it. Very funny guy. I really enjoyed that conversation. Kiss, we had Kiss items that did okay. They looked really good. They were like 12 inches tall. And then we had the mini pop culture, or the pop. This is like the end of the pop culture. This is 2005. Pop culture came out in 2002, I believe. So the pop culture was kind of near in the end, but we started adding the presidents here. So we had Bush and Clinton here, and we had different versions of Bush. We had I think we had another version of Clinton too on it, but they would sing a song or have sayings depending on which one we did. Party time, just comparison, go through. Birthday big. This is we did the birthday Airblowns, mixture of non-licensed and licensed. This happy birthday guy, I thought it was so funny. I saw my neighbor across the street last year had this out in their yard for their little boy. So this is an item that I did, 20 years earlier, and then there's Gemmy still selling it. So we had the over the hill. We have quite a few different styles. Babies first. You can see the different styles. Party, this guy, some sports stuff, more sports stuff. Bigger versions of the small ones I just showed you. Archways, license. We had Dora. We had SpongeBob, Sesame Street. We had different Sesame Street items. This item was huge. We Elmo on a present, so he's not a plush toy. He's kind of on a base type of thing, singing Happy Birthday. Two different versions of Happy Birthday. Sold a lot of this guy. Then when we didn't have this accessory license anymore, we really missed this one. The inflatables, I think, were okay, but this animated piece was a big hit. Disney Airblowns. You see the different Disney ones that we've done. Scooby-Doo, Buzz Lightyear, Nemo. We had a bunch of Scooby-Doo, birthday plush. Pooh, more Pooh and Tigger. Buzz, SpongeBob. The arms are a little weird there. Oh well, his first pass. Airblown Games. This is the start of Airblown Games, which is a very big program. We did this. We had this in Party City. Walgreens did an end cap. Target did an end cap of the different styles. I think they were unlicensed, but we had licensed versions of these too. And the pin the tail on the donkey was the best one, but the lightning ball was not far behind. It was a very, very good item. Let's see. So just different party lights. We were in the party business. Different light up candles. The Monster Mail we talked about earlier. Zoo Express. I don't even remember these guys. And we had some frogs we had in the party line as well. Because some people would just show the party line. Some people would show the everyday line. Some people we show both. Because we dealt with party buyers at Walmart and Target. Party City, there were different buyers. And so we'd have these, break out the PowerPoint and just do the party stuff. Over the hill, birthday bears, more inside the box. I really believed in inside the box. It just never really took off. I mean, I thought it was funny because it's surprise factor. It looks like a box that opens up, guys dancing like crazy, moves really fast, but didn't really take off. Bubble blowers. We had our own bubble blowers for a while that did well. Adult party. Tiki was very big. I mean, Spencer's always did a tiki section. Party City did a tiki section. I had inflatable archways and gazebos and all these different inflatables in both of their sets. So it was, they were doing a whole run, 16, 20-foot run or more of all tiki stuff. So we developed stuff for those runs. Got a Mardi Gras, pink flamingos, cactus, champagne bottle, so you get tiki and a palm tree, flamingo, pineapple, a couple party items, margarita glass and a beer glass. Simpson, we had Homer Simpson over the hill one where it came with different banners. So depending how old you are, you could put it up there. Sure, it also came with the blank banner as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe it didn't come with a blank banner. Then we had a Homer hula. This is a good example. This archway did really well, and then we did a gazebo, so we had four things, and it was like a tent, and that we actually sold that in too. I'm not sure if we ever sold this guy in, but the luau party, because we had the thatch roof and stuff, it did very well. It fit the themes of Spencer's and Party City well. More tiki party accessories. I mentioned this. Whoops. Mentioned this actually. I think I did a video of this. It's one of my favorite items because it looks like a pineapple. You hit the button, or it's got a motion sensor. It comes up and she dances to wipe out. Going back and forth, and then she goes back down. Special occasion. We had teddy bear, storks, graduation, wedding. More animation type of items, a lot of racing. So here's just some generic ones, but we also had animated ones with character licenses. Business ceremony, we tried these. These are, this 10 feet tall, which is really giant at the time, come with all these different banners, including a blank one that you could put on there. So I actually had this alligator in my yard for my son's birthday when he was young, and it was pretty cool. Put Happy Birthday Tyler on there. It was pretty, probably still have it. I don't even know. This is the air dimensional design. It was a patented item. We signed the license. Never could sell it because it was just too expensive. I did see that Gemmy brought it out like a couple years ago in Home Depot. Again, because I believe the patent expired, so they just did it because they already had the fans that we built for this item that we didn't sell. But Home Depot only did it for 1 year, and it was never back in any store. So I'm assuming it didn't sell. This is too expensive as a non-commercial item. Commercial, it makes sense. You see it at car dealers and stuff, but it just didn't work otherwise. Sports, okay, I think we still had NFL license here, different NFL, hamsters. We've done frogs. There's pugs, end zone dancers, the super fan. We did stockings and hats. It was big business for a while. At college, we had different college inflatable mascots. Different college animated items and college stockings and stuff. Here's more NASCAR. See, these are 4 drivers. Maybe Kurt Busch is still driving. I don't think the other ones aren't. Kenseth, Mark Barndare. So we had Tony Stewart. We had others that we did. Dale Earnhardt Jr., I believe. Don't quote me on that. But we had quite a few, maybe half a dozen NASCAR licenses, and we just put them in animated items, and they did well. Jimmy Johnson was another one that we had. So here you go. We took those generic items and made them more specific to those drivers. And that's it. Thank you.